You know, in the world of fund management, the stakes are unbelievably high. So what's the glue that holds it all together and keeps things from going completely off the rails? Well, it's compliance. And it's not some dusty department in the basement. It's the actual playbook for survival and ultimately for success.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way right up front. For anyone managing money today, this statement isn't just an opinion, it's the absolute reality. Getting a handle on compliance isn't just a good idea for your career anymore, it's a non-negotiable must-have skill. The rules of the game have gotten more complex, and knowing how to navigate them is everything.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. We'll kick things off with why the stakes are so incredibly high, then we'll define what compliance really is, look at how you actually build a system, meet the people in charge, and finally, we'll nail down the ultimate business case for why this all matters so much.
All right, so let's start with the scary part, the risks. Because in fund management, the stakes aren't just high for the company. They're high for you, personally.
Just let that sink in for a minute. The answer, and our source material is crystal clear on this, is a huge, resounding yes. For directors, for officers, a screw-up isn't just a problem for the firm. It can lead to some really severe personal consequences. We're talking about massive fines out of your own pocket, and even jail time. This is why it is so much more than just ticking a few boxes on a form.
So with stakes that high, what's your defense? What's the shield that protects you? Well, it all starts with really understanding what compliance is at its core. And the most important word on this entire slide is right there, in big, bold letters: prevention. See, the whole point of compliance is to build systems that stop things from going wrong in the first place. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. They think compliance and audit are kind of the same thing. They're not. They're polar opposites. Think of it like this. An audit is like looking in your car's rearview mirror. It tells you what you've already passed. Compliance, well, that's you looking out the front windshield, trying to avoid the potholes and obstacles up ahead.
Okay, so if compliance is this proactive shield, how do you actually go about building one? It's not magic. There's a formal, structured process you can follow, and it involves a few very clear steps.
See? It's a really logical flow. You start by just looking at what you're already doing, because every company has some kind of system, even if it's informal. Then, you figure out all your legal duties, you find your specific weak spots, and from there, you build out a real plan. It's only after all that groundwork that you pick your tools and roll it out. It's a clear path from A to B.
So what kinds of tools are we talking about here? Well, it's a lot more than just some fancy software. The foundation, the most critical tool of all, is right there at the top. You need the CEO and the board to be fully behind it. Without that commitment from the very top, all the other stuff, the manuals, the training, the reporting, it just doesn't have the same teeth. You're building an entire culture of prevention, not just a to-do list.
And of course, you can have the best system in the world, but it's only as good as the people who are running it. That brings us to the key players who make compliance a reality day in and day out.
Right at the heart of it all is the compliance officer. And make no mistake, this is not a passive job. This person is actively updating policies, coordinating everything across the whole company, and jumping on violations when they happen. They are the true hub of that compliance wheel.
And listen to this, because the source material could not be more direct on this point. This can't be some junior-level position. For a compliance officer to actually get things done, they have to be a senior person, someone who is well-respected and who has real status and genuine authority in the company.
And this picture shows you exactly why that seniority is so crucial. If your compliance officer has low status, what happens? The whole department gets starved of support, of funding, of resources. That authority isn't just about a fancy title. It translates directly into the budget and the political clout they need to actually protect the company.
So, let's bring it all home. We've talked about the risks, the system, and the people. But let's get to the bottom line. Why is this whole thing so critical for the business itself?
Now here's a really interesting little twist. Technically, there's no single law on the books that says you must have a formal compliance system. But, and this is a big but, the law will absolutely hammer you if you fail to comply with all the regulations. And on top of that, regulators see a good system as a basic requirement for even getting a license. So while it's not directly mandated in the real world, oh yeah, it's absolutely required.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source. It just frames the whole conversation perfectly. The time and money you pour into compliance, it isn't just another business cost. It's an insurance premium. It's what you pay to protect the entire company from a catastrophic failure.
And the return you get on that insurance premium is just huge.
It creates this amazing positive feedback loop. When you get rid of that fear of getting sued, you can focus on your clients. That leads to fewer complaints and builds trust. That better reputation doesn't just bring in more customers, it helps you attract the best employees. All of a sudden, compliance isn't a cost, it's a massive competitive advantage.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. When you frame it like that, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it? At the end of the day, compliance isn't about holding you back. It's about building a business that's strong enough to last. It's the one investment that makes sure you're still in the game tomorrow.